Hi YouTube! It's getting into jumper season over here in the UK, or sweater weather for you lot abroad. So I thought I would give some tips about how to get the best out of your knitwear for the upcoming colder seasons. So I hope you enjoy this video. I want to start with the care basics before we get into some more personal styling type tips, because we want to keep our knitwear and hopefully rewear it all the time for many years if we can. So if you want to be safe, hand washing your knitwear is always the best shout. Inside out if you can, if there's like a design on the front or something like that, that also helps. I get that we don't always have time for a delicate hand wash in the sink. You can also use a setting on your machine like a hand wash or delicates or wool or something like that as well to best look after them, and make sure not to tumble dry because that's when it starts shrinking and all of that. So obvious stuff kind of out of the way. I hear that it's good to avoid fabric softeners, as apparently that makes it susceptible to bobbling. I'm sure it's obvious not to machine dry it, but I'd also recommend once you've washed it, rather than just hanging it on a hanger, try hanging it flat in some kind of way. That could be over a clothes horse, that could be across two hangers, across two armrests. Get creative, find a way of it not hanging downwards. This is as when it's upright, the water will drag it and pull it down. So if your knitwear ever looks stretched in some way, it's probably because of that. So I don't know about you, but I wear a lot of synthetic knits. I find real wool a bit too itchy on the skin, and of course this is cheaper as well. However, I do find after a lot of washes, those pieces that I love start to get bobbly and they become home cardigans or home jumpers that I feel too embarrassed to wear out. I'd recommend carefully considering what jackets and coats you're putting over the top of your knitwear. Unlined and rough fabric jackets, like a denim jacket for example, can rub up against your nice cashmere and could be the bobble culprit. This is a cautionary tale from my own experience. When I tried to actually cut all of the bubbles off of my jumpers, I made a ton of holes doing this, so don't do that. Case in point. Either be super careful, more careful than I was, or invest in the right shearing tools. I was using like nail scissors because I thought it'd be delicate, but anyway, it wasn't right. You can get many things that are literally made to de-bobble, like mechanical razors, Phillips and that kind of thing. It's also recommended to comb your knitwear, and you can do this with like a natural bristle brush. They say that's good. These days a lot of stores sell products like this, care products for your knitwear, and they're pretty inexpensive. I've seen products like this at H&M, and they also make quite nice Christmas presents for people that you don't know what to buy for. If there's someone that you know has loads of really funky knits, it could be quite a cute present if they don't have something like that already, which they might not. But if it's already too late, and like me, the damage has been done, or moths have got onto it, that happens too, there's always ways that you can repair your knitwear. You could really simply and classically sew a patch over it. This could be with spare fabric that you've got lying around, like cut-offs of stuff. It could be intentionally fun fabric if you have something like with cute shapes or patterns and you want to cut the flower off and stick it on the elbow. That could be really cute. Or maybe you have like a really similar fabric swatch and your knitwear is in a dark color and you actually won't notice and it's such a tiny hole. And shops do sell repair patches these days as well. Sure, I've seen it at H&M, but lots of places do it. So you can get really nice ones as well. And it could be you if you're crafty, or it could be someone that you know that's really caring and loving and actually wants to do that for you. You can also use that sewing it up as a chance to embellish it. It could be that you sew it up and then you put a pearl on top and like make it nice and actually put loads of pearls everywhere, or like gems, or you know, cool stuff like that. Bows even, something pretty, like really go in. You can really turn something that's been moth eaten into something new and give it new life. I had a jumper that had a rip across the chest. It was like a pull, a ladder. I thought it was a goner, so I used it as an opportunity to experiment and threaded, don't know if you can see that, aiming at the camera here, threaded a ribbon through it, which done up looks quite nice, I think. I'm proud of my work. It looks like there was always a ribbon there. Maybe I'll just put a picture of it next to me. I don't know, I think it's kind of cute. So you can do something like that as well. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to wear a jumper with a massive pull across the chest ever again, but now I feel like I can because it's got like a design on it now. So you've got your jumper, maybe you've done like a colour analysis with me and you've just bought some new jumpers in your colours and you are ready to face those colder seasons. Or maybe you love all your jumpers, but you wear them so much in the same ways and you're bored and you're here looking for some styling tips so you don't look the same every day in the winter. I love layering and I always have fun layering ideas that maybe you've heard in other videos or not, maybe it's your first time, hi. So yeah, here's some ideas. First off, simply, it could be that you wear that jumper under or over a dress. A lot of people, even though it feels to me like a really everyday thing, don't realize that they can be doing that. And of course it depends on the thickness of your jumper. So if it's thin enough to go under a strappy dress and you don't see it underneath, as in like the hem or the bottom of it on your tummy, then it's quite nice. And not only will it cover up a little bit of the jumper, so this jumper that you're seeing all the time, you're just getting peeks of it now. It also means that you can be wearing those strappy dresses in the winter, so it's really a win-win. And dresses are super comfy, another win. Or by popping that jumper over the top of the dress looks like a skirt, and it could be a way to take that jumper, which you'd be wearing casually with jeans, and make it feel a little bit more dressy. Depending again on thickness of jumper, you could be putting something over the jumper. Could be like a cute little waistcoat or gilet or something like that. It could be that you put a shirt over it, and that won't add that much to your warmth, but it could make the outfit look a little bit different. I personally love doing this. I really like choosing a denim shirt. It's like wearing a denim jacket, but less thick. So again, if you've got like a thin enough knit that can then take a shirt over it, that can be really cool, really grungy. Could be a check shirt over it. It's nice to have the two collars, like a high neck collar with a shirt collar next to it. That could be really cool. It's nice to have shirts underneath your knitwear, so you've got that collar coming out and over, and then it could even be the bottom of the shirt comes out, like that Hey Arnold moment where you've got a little bit of check shirt coming out and that feels kind of grungy and cool. Could be that you have a shirt with a really nice interesting collar, like a round cute Peter Pan collar. I purposely have a layering jumper that's really thin, has a nice collar that goes under other jumpers, so it makes my knitwear look a little bit different. But you can also buy collars that aren't attached to anything that you can pop over those jumpers that make them look and feel different too. How do we shorten our jumpers without simply just cutting them? And you can cut them if you want, but you don't want the whole thing to unravel. So if you are going to do that, immediately sew up the bottom of it if you can, if you've got an overlock, or even better. But yes, an oversized jumper doesn't have to look massive and drown you. Personally, before I became a personal stylist, I bought a lot of oversized clothing because it was really cool and it was really trendy. But cool and trendy aside, I'm short, and oversized stuff tends to make me look even shorter, even more drowned. But there are ways that I can take those jumpers that weren't correct purchases and make them better for me. Get that oversized jumper and belt it in the middle, and then at least you're showing your body and you're not as drowned. And you could indeed tuck it in if it's thin enough, but if it is too chunky, you could put a belt across your tummy and then fold the knitwear underneath that belt. So you're not even seeing the belt, but you're just using it as a way to gather in that knitwear. so it's hidden, and all you're seeing is a nice neat hem. You could even be tucking your knitwear up and into your bra, just like the ends of it, so you won't feel it, it won't be too weird. You could get elastics and you could knot the knitwear. I do this a lot personally because I can't wear belts. You could just knot one side of it. Sometimes I like to be intentional like that and have like a really cool scrunchie with like a bow or a ribbon or something so it becomes part of it. But it could also be that you then just tuck it underneath and hide it. If you do it at the side, you get this nice graduating waist. You could do two teeny ones either side of it, then tuck them underneath. You could have one at the back, tuck it underneath. You could have one at the front, tuck it underneath. So the elastics are quite nice ways of hiding the fabric. Depending on how much you like your knitwear, perhaps you've got knitwear that you're unable to sell or can't be bothered to give to charity, or you feel like it's a shame because you spent a lot on it but it's just like not you anymore and you want to customize it and you're ready to make a project out of it. You could sew some laces in some places. Literally tack a bunch of these by hand on, add lace detailing and hems. Could be across the collar, could be across the sleeves, could be across the shoulders, down the sides, on the bottom, wherever. Could be this, could be ribbon, could be anything. Nice detailing depending on your knit, like the holes, the thickness of it, that kind of thing. Like earlier how I showed you that I was able to poke a ribbon through and then tie it, you could do that kind of thing even if your knitwear doesn't have holes, if it's just like a wide enough knitwear that you can poke some bits through, and then that means you can easily take it out if you don't like where you put it, or you don't want to wear it, or you want to change up the ribbon or whatever. For me, that ribbon is staying in because there's a hole underneath. But if your jumper's got no holes and you just feel like customizing, you really could change up that customizing without doing anything permanent. And it could be anything, it doesn't have to be a ribbon. It could be more wool. If you're really crafty, you can like thread some wool through and, you know, make flowers or a design or something like that. You could even clip something through. Could be like an old earring, maybe you've lost one and you've got the other one free, you could like clip it through, like charms, like a charm bracelet. Or if you have cool brooches or that kind of thing. I know brooches doesn't feel like that much of a young person thing, but actually currently at the moment with this kind of trend of bag charms, you could be bag charming your clothes, charming them, you know, that could be cool. So yeah, knitwear doesn't necessarily need to go, doesn't necessarily need to die. There are always ways of playing with it. So I hope you have fun and I hope you take care of it. And if you'd like me to help you find the best colour of knitwear on a colour analysis, because it is right underneath your face, if you're in London, get in touch. As always, you know where to find me if you'd like to work with a friendly personal stylist. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for watching this video. If you did to the end, thanks, I appreciate it. Happy cozy season, happy sweater weather, goodbye.